Hello again, everyone. My name is Alex Stryzak, and this is my MPA 580 Week 5 presentation, and I'll be taking you through the importance of ethics for people and employees in the IRS as my federal organization that I chose. So one of the main takeaways I had from this week's lectures, readings, and videos was not only how important it is to have an ethical structure in a workplace or an organization, but for leadership to really convey and enforce that ethical base. So the importance of ethics in this organization for the IRS is that you're going to be working with a lot of people who are working with sensitive information. So we'll get into it in the next slide a little bit more, but you're going to be dealing with people's financial records, personal records, and you're going to be working closely with other coworkers where there might be opportunities to accidentally share information, or the coworker might accidentally share information, and there needs to be an important structure of how to refer to these people and where to report, and mainly it's looking at the 5 major approaches to a leadership and management that'll elevate the ethical climate in your organization. So looking at the importance of the code of ethics, this is where I really tie it into the 5 major approaches. So I'm looking at how for the IRS, number 5 on the major approaches will be the most important in my opinion, and that commitment to equity and involvement in dealings with the public. You're going to be working with the public so much. You're going to be dealing with their social security number, you're going to be dealing with their tax records, and you're also dealing with the public in that you can't show favoritism. There can't be any favoritism or discrimination in how you pick or you investigate as the IRS, because as we now transition into number 2 on this list, which I think is the second most important, is clear expectations, effective training, and that this is so important because a lot of the times the IRS can, not many people look too fondly when they hear from the IRS, so it's important for these employees to know that what they're expecting from the federal government is to collect taxes and make sure that the right amount of money is coming in, and to make sure that everything is flowing well with federal tax dollars coming in. So because people don't, usually like paying their taxes, or hearing from the IRS that they're not paying their taxes or something went wrong with their taxes, that brings in number 3, which is positive management practices. So you're going to have to be positive with your employees in the IRS because they're going to be getting a lot of negative feedback from those they have to work with. So also having their coworkers being positive with them will keep office morale. And these are the 3 I think that are really important to harp on, because you work so much with the public and you do get a lot of dislike from the public, that staying as a group and working together is very important, but we also have to honor the privacy of those we're working with. So when we are talking to coworkers, we're not breaking any of the rules that were established in the privacy that you will be exposed to working for the IRS. So in closing, we do see how important it is for your leadership to set this ethical guidelines, because if we had a leader at the IRS or for a branch of the IRS who was, let's say, making a discriminative pick to investigate their neighbor because the neighbor's dog pooped on their lawn, I don't know, but let's say that they picked their neighbor for not a good reason or not a reason stated in the IRS code of ethics, that would lead to a snowball effect where being the superior, those they're watching over may start to do the same thing with their choices. Instead, if you have a strong code of ethics, you have a strong ethical base to go off of and a solid chain of command to report these things to, even if you're getting negative backlash from the public, you're able to stay together as an organization, realize the main goal, because you have clear-cut goals of collecting tax dollars, that's your goal, and to make sure that taxes are being filed correctly. Then you are able to communicate better at work while still following those code of ethics to make sure you're not leaking any private information on your clients you're looking at.